Complete cleaner. This song was fitting when she said pick a song, and I said I know exactly which one it's going to be. It's one of my favorites. So for those that don't know, I did a little bit introduce myself earlier this morning. So as I mentioned, Colleen and I met. I feel for nothing is a coincidence, and for those that do not know me, you will learn quickly that there is no such thing as a stranger. They are only a friend you haven't met yet. And my family does not like to take me anywhere. My mom, I used to completely embarrass her because no matter it was in an elevator, wherever we would go, I was always talking to somebody. And I honestly, I won't try. But so many used to say that was a bad thing for me. People used to tell me to be quiet. I talk too much. My nickname's Jabberjaw. My brother, good thing I don't believe in Santa, if I ruin it. But, no, I'm just kidding. But my brother said if you don't shut up, Santa will bring you a zipper for your mouth. And guess what? He did. Santa brought me a zipper for my mouth. So I was always told to be quiet, I talk too much. But I'm trying to take note, like Nikki said, is to listen more. Because God did give us 2 ears for a reason. So I have to bite my tongue. And Jake preaches this and preaches this and preaches to me. He's like, Becky, how much do you talk? 1%. He's like, and somebody else talks 99? Yes, Jake. I'm trying. I'm really trying. But that's what I love here is that you don't have to be the social one, or you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know all the things. You just have to talk and build connections. And then, when we say this is network marketing, it's the network, it's the people. Who can I touch next? How can I make an impact next? Who's the next person that needs to be the stranger to walk up to them if they're having a bad day, or just listening to them and being aware of what they have going on. Like Nikki said, you see somebody post something, does Q pop into my head like, this could really help? Yes. But first find out, like, hey, how can I pray for you? What do you have going on? Having a child with special needs, I say, just like Melissa said, the body shaming. I blame myself all the time. What could I have done differently? But I feel like he's here and he is him for a reason. He has completely changed our family on how we look at people, how we act, what our day-to-day is. We recognize things, especially my kids. My husband treats people differently because of Clay. And we have grown so much because of him. And so when Melissa said, you may think people have it together on the inside, but it's a struggle. It is a struggle. And this has been my community. And last year in September, it was a regional in Dallas. My dad had been taken by an ambulance, wasn't expected to live through the night. I was supposed to drive to Denver by myself and get on the plane. And I debated not going. Clay was like, you need to be there. What would your dad want you to do? Because at that point, he was completely unconscious. I said, he'd want me to go. He'd want me to be there. He'd want me to do this. And got there. Everything was a little exaggerated. Spoke to him on the phone from the hotel room, even though I thought he was going to be dead. So it was kind of an ironic thing. But when he did pass, about 2.5 weeks later, it was this community. Mark has became like a second dad to me. They care about your family, who you want to be. It's not just the numbers. So when I lead into the compensation plan, it is my #1 product. Because 6 years ago, when I did quit my full-time job to take care of Clay, that was scary. My husband's self-employed. I worked at the hospital, had the life insurance, the 401k, health insurance, all those things. So there's many people in those same circumstances that we have right now, but not by choice. And so I am so grateful to have an opportunity like this that we can offer other people. Is it the traditional way to go get an 8-to-5 job? No. But we need to be the ones to change that. How this can impact people, how this can provide for their families, but how it can also give people a community. So as I mentioned, my husband, my oldest is a senior, Kale in the middle, and then my little clay man. So like Nikki said, they are my why, but it's that little one right there that got me here, because Kalina said, you owe it to Clay to take a look at this, because I told her no for an entire year. Ignored her messages, wasn't really sometimes nice when I sent her back messages. But it was the timing. When she messaged me, I was sitting, waiting for Clay in therapy. We were having a rough day. I was feeling completely unaligned with things on what I was supposed to be doing. And she got me on a call with Marielle Filipponi. You guys are gonna hear her name a lot. She is our top leader, income earner here, her and husband Frank. But Marielle is the most genuine badass, and I'm gonna say it because she is. And I instantly connected with her within a second of one word out of her mouth. But Kalina knew that. Kalina knew that Marielle was the person to connect me to. Kalina could tell me all the things, and she did, and I would have trusted her. But Marielle built so much belief into me, because a lot of the fears that I had, Marielle had been through it, and Kalina knew that. And so it's not so much it has to be your story, but who can you connect people to hear their story, that it's like, hey, this is what you're going through. I would love to hear this person's story. So I'm gonna get into kind of the boring things and then the fun things. So acronyms. So many of you are new. If you've ever worked in the hospital world, you know lots of acronyms. But we're gonna hear PV, which is our personal volume. That means what you're personally using product-wise, that you place an order for. What are your personal volume? Customer volume. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's those retail and preferred customers that Nikki was talking about. And then organizational volume, that's your team. So the people that partner in this is going to be your organizational volume. So earlier this morning, Kalina mentioned that one thing we love is our comp plan is on one page. It's a lot of numbers. It probably looks very foreign, but I'll try to break it down as simple as possible today. So with the 4 ways, I loved that it's the customer volume, and then it's that you want to build a team. But there are going to be people like my mom, who is 78 years old. She has no desire to do what I do. She has no desire to build a team, but she still talks to people because she may know someone that does. Or maybe she talks to somebody that they know that has somebody. Like she said, a lot of her people, friends are gone, unfortunately, but they have children, they have grandchildren. So maybe she knows people that she could connect with me, that I could help them with that. So, but there can be people like Nikki, Melissa, and whoever go and share these products. You heard lots of 500, 1,000 CV, and they go and they tell everybody about the product, because everybody needs these products or knows somebody that does. You can build an incredible business off customer volume. So let's talk about that. That's my number one thing. That's when I came in, that's the first thing I exploded with, was customers, because I went and told every single person that would listen to me. And Kalina was living in Costa Rica, and I was like, hey, what are you doing Tuesday night? We're gonna get together in the bank room in Hershey. I want you to come hear her story. She shared her story with me. I didn't even have products for Clay yet, and I was like, but I'm so hopeful that the success Logan has had, that it's gonna help Clay. Because Clay had hit a plateau, he wasn't thriving like he should, and I just had so much hope, and I trusted her. But also, I asked her what her paycheck was. And I said, okay, if I'm gonna jump in this with you, I'm just gonna ask a question. So when she told me she was a platinum leader that I'll show you here in a minute, I was like, okay. And many of you know I was in another company for 5.5 years. And Kalina says, pull up your volume. And I did, and I'll get to that in a minute. But with our customer volume, your PV of the first 100 is what makes you yourself active and commission qualified. So when people had a gal ask me today, she's like, how much do I have to sell? I said, you don't go sell anything. Like Kalina mentioned, we have people who are diamonds in this company making $100,000 a month, and they don't have a single customer. And so You don't have to sell anything, and I always tell people, yes, we are selling a product, but it's who can I share with next? And so those commissions are paid out at the end of a month. So the first was on Tuesday. Our commissions closed on Friday. All of us are gonna get paid our November commissions this coming Friday the 10th. There's retail versus preferred. I don't even tell retail either because like Nikki said, I'm cheap. I'm not paying full price, I'm going to the sale rack. So when I tell people how to order, I literally type it for them if I'm sending them a message, or I'll say, let's get on a phone, I'll walk you through the process. But I literally type it out. You're gonna click on shop join. You're going to click on my link. You're gonna select preferred customer. Do not click retail. I literally type that out. Do not click retail. I'm like, get preferred because you're gonna get the same wholesale price that I pay for $10 a year, okay? And then it's paid out depending on where your customer volume goes. Now I will mention that life happens. Things break down, you have expenses, whatever the case. If you cannot afford to have your 100 PV, but you still have customer volume, you still have the potential to get a paycheck. So let's just say, for instance, my customer volume is 500 for the month, okay? But I haven't placed my order. I just can't afford it this month. $100 of my customer volume is going to shift over to make me commission qualified, and then I'm gonna get paid on $400, okay? So you still can get a paycheck, even if that happens. So if you have people in your network that can't get their products right now, help them get a customer to get a paycheck. They can still get a paycheck even if they can't place their own 100 PV order. Let's help them get a customer. But I also say, watch where your team or yourself's customer volume is, because once you hit 501, it's gonna jump from 15% to 25, and then 1,001 above jumps to 30, and then that 2,000 and above goes to the 35% with the $50 additional bonus towards an FFM bonus, towards debt or retirement. So it's who can I help next? That's all that I just keep telling myself, and like the objection thing I have to touch on, because take yourself out of the equation. It's not about you. It's not about you. And people can't say yes if you don't give them the opportunity to say no. And so when you're reaching out, if you're nervous, it's probably because you're making it personal for yourself. So if you make it about that person, you know that they're struggling with a certain thing, or you've had conversations with them, make it about them when you're reaching out. The magic. Get to Builder ASAP. We, like Kalina said, Jake has the Builder Pro and Executive there because we want the newest people getting started, getting their investment back. So we want people paid in their first week. And that really starts also with pre-qualification. If somebody tells me I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks, great, you're not signed up till you come back. If you go get a loan, like my husband did for his business, for over $400,000, and we don't open our meat processing plant for 2 weeks or a month, how are we gonna pay our bills? So we do not want people starting until timing is ready for them to get launched. Launching, really, don't make it a big thing. It's doing a welcome call. It's getting to know that person. What is their goals? Do they know how to log in? Did they do their DocuSign so they can get paid? Did they do they know their goals? Do they know their website? It's really helping them, just getting to know them. That's the whole purpose of a welcome call, is just getting to know the next person. And then setting up that Fab Five. Like Nikki said, don't make it scary. And just because it's called a Fab Five, don't think you have to have 5 people on there, or 50, or 100. It could be one. That one person could be the customer that needs the product. That one person could be your newest ambassador that takes off and runs out the gates, that wants to help other people. I've done Fab Fives. 2 people get on, 2 people join. By the time we get off, that person's builder. It's just the whole purpose of a Fab Five is to get you comfortable and your teams comfortable with the system. Did I make a list? Am I reaching out to people? Am I connecting with them? Did I do a post? Did I pique somebody's interest? And inviting them. So a lot of times we get stuck because we get that name and we have that list, and they're like, what do we do with it? So help them send out the first couple messages. And what's easier, Kalina and I have traded phones. She'll message my people, I message hers. I'm like, tell me about them. And I can send the message because there's no emotion with it. I'm not nervous about they're going to respond to me. I don't know who they are. So help your people if they say, well, I've got this person, oh my gosh, like, I'm just so nervous, they're on my chicken list. I'm like, tell me about them. And then we can say, okay, great, this is something you might say. The other thing is when you're reaching out and connecting to them, I love the voice messages because they hear your excitement. Nobody's going to remember what you said if you were excited. And Brandon has been a huge mentor that always says you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And so just being excited and saying like, and the other thing is with the voice messages Melissa was talking about, is you can voice message to yourself and record it to yourself in Messenger. Just bring your name up, send yourself a message, and listen to it. Do you sound nervous? Do you sound like you're gonna throw up? Is there hesitation in there? Because if you can hear it in your own, they're might hear that too. So sometimes I stand up. You might look in the mirror. You might smile. You might jump up and down before you send the message, whatever that might be. Or you can record it, send it to one of us as if we're Jody. And Jody can message and say, hey Jody, this is Becky, whatever. And then if we're like, yeah, that sounds awesome, hit forward. You don't have to re-record it again. It's already done. And so I have done that so much. Jake had taught us that at Silver Summit when we were up there in January. I'm like, oh, I never thought of that. And so just listening to that over and over, and like Nikki said, or Kalina said, try to make it like less than a minute. Just try to get your point in there. And then lead with that business. Be excited, be passionate about it. Like the compensation plan is honestly my favorite product. It is what has made the hugest impact for our family. So how do I get to Builder? First, in your comp plan, these show your different ranks. Do you have your 100 PV? Are you commission qualified? We now get paid weekly. So yesterday, when I opened it up, my 100 PV has already went through. My numbers were executive level. I'm gonna get paid at $250 this next Friday already for the month of December. And we had just ended month end, so I'm gonna get that pay rank as well from last week. So do you have your 100 PV? We try to tell people have your auto ship go through before that first Friday of the month. Now, if you haven't billed yet, don't panic. Get it in there before the 15th, but have your auto ship on. It's not just because we want auto ships on. Like Nikki said, we want you earning free product, but you will be consistent. I cannot tell you how many messages I get on the daily. I ran out of sleep spray. I don't have any more probiotic. I don't have this. Do you have this on hand? Yes, I have stuff because I have it for my family too, but then I'm chasing it back down. But I also have product because every so often we get some shipping delays. So I'm able to help like Renee and a few people bringing people products. But that's what it's there for, is to be able to help do that. PA, that is your personally sponsored ambassadors. When I saw that I had to have 2, I almost freaked. Because the other company I was in, I had recruited almost 150 people. And I'm like, 2? All the way here to make $350,000 a month, I just need 2? Of course, I'm not just gonna get 2, but I was like, 2. We all know 2 people who wanna make money, or know somebody that does, or that just loves to tell everybody. Fran always gets on stage. Fran is a black diamond making $120,000 a month, and she said, I look for those people who post looking for somebody to do a juice cleanse. Yeah. And they get 100 comments. Who wants to do a juice cleanse? Not me. Heck no. But who are those people? If people naturally attract to them because they're real, they're telling their story, people trust them, and it doesn't have to be that you have this life-altering situation. It could be you love animals. She rescues everything that crawls across the floor. Amy will stop and pick it up. That's who Amy is. How many other people are like you? There's lots. You have a story to tell. Who can people connect with? And so it's telling your story through that people start to relate and connect. So those 2 people. I grabbed my mom, a couple people, grabbed Nikki, I called her up, non-negotiable, you're joining. She was like, what in the world? I was like, ask questions later. So grab those 2 people. But then what we do is we don't just grab those 2 people and leave them. We get on a welcome call with them. We help them do a Fab 5 call. We help them make their list. We help them reach out to people because we want to help them find their 2 people. And then we have the qualified OV that I'm going to talk about in a minute to get to builder. So what is qualified OV? That is any single order placed by an ambassador in your organization or their customer on your team. So if anybody goes to Nikki's website as an ambassador or customer, that's going to go into my organizational volume. So now this room is all in my organizational volume. Took Nikki for most of these. And then I got Amy. And then everybody else kind of come along. So it just takes that duplication effect to every single order. If you guys can look at that bigger picture, 5 years from now, every order that goes through your website and their website and the next person's website, infinity levels deep, is nuts. Because like Kalina said, we were in the same company, and you might make $2 or nothing, or if you were my level 8 and below, you didn't get a paycheck. But however, I'm one of those people, I don't care if I make a paycheck or not, because these numbers, you guys are people. You are not a number to me. And my business is not going to grow unless I love on my people. And I help you in your business, and I help your friends and family feel healthier. That's what it's about. I don't care about that. It's who can I make a difference? This is naturally your business is going to grow if you love on people and help them take care of their people. So your OV is not volume from your own personal order or your own personal customers. Okay, so you just have to remember that part does not count, but the rest of the volume, no matter how big, how small, it never decreases in the value. So for Marielle, who you all don't even know, it's as if Marielle recruited us all. And that is pretty special. You will not find that anywhere else. I don't care what people say. So builder. So if I look at this 300 OV, 600, 1500, drop the zeros off and look at it as 3 orders. Most people, as Kalina talked, 85% of our orders are the Q core. That's 100 in volume. So if I had my 2 people, Nikki gets a core, and then my mom got her core, then I'm going to go help Nikki and my mom find either an ambassador or a customer. And when their volume is 300, I'm going to already be a builder, and right now that's $215 with Christmas cash. Getting those 2 people and helping them each get a order or a customer, or maybe Nikki comes in and orders 150, and my mom ordered 150, I'm already a builder. They don't even have to have a customer ambassador, but my 2 people each order that volume to get to builder. The other thing I like to say, because I'm a numbers geek, so if you ever need numbers, is the maximum when you see this percentage, or it says max OV from each leg, okay? So say for instance, my mom comes in and she orders the 300, and Nikki orders 100. I am not builder. Because the maximum amount I can take from my mom's order is 180. That means I need to help Nikki get at least 20 more in her leg. So what I like to write down is where this says max OV 180. I like to make a slash and write 120 next to it. Because for builder, you technically need 1 person in your first leg to have 180, and that second leg needs to have 120. Then when we look at pro, it's 600. So 600 minus the 360 is the 240, and the 1500 minus 900 would be 600. So those are the magic numbers that I look at to help people, especially for builder, pro, and executive, but just always think you plus 2. 2. You and 2 other people. Who do you need? So this millionaire duplication strategy is incredible if you can really see the vision for yourself. So when Kalina and I came into this, and Nikki, they used to have a program called Care and Share, where you would work to get those first couple ambassadors and at least 3 customers, because that really starts to build the duplication and the residual income. So if you looked at this, and if you personally recruited 3 customers, and then this one did 3 ambassadors, your team duplication, how it would duplicate 8 levels to be Crown Diamond at $350,000 a month. So there's some, like, I don't even want to know what's in Clena's organization, probably 100, 10,000. You could be number level 10,000, and it doesn't matter, but you really need 8. So if we all helped 3 people get 3 customers and 3 ambassadors, and we did that 8 levels deep, you would make it to the top of the comp plan, which is crazy. So I want to do a visual, because I'm a visual person. So I want Nikki come up. I'll have Nikki come up, and then I'll have Amy, you come up. So I'll do Nikki and Amy. Come over, you come over here. Okay, so Nikki, stand here. Amy, you come here. So these are my first 2 people that I recruit. So I have Nikki and Amy, okay? So Nikki goes and helps 2 people. Amy, since you're right here, and Melissa, you guys come up behind Nikki. So Nikki went and got her 2 people. Okay? So then Jody, you come up. And Clene, I'll just use you to come up. Okay, so I recruited Amy. Amy's 100. Nikki's 100. Okay? But let's just say Nikki got 1, and Amy got 1. I'm already a builder. But then I continue to help them, and now Amy has 2. And Nikki has 2. How much is up here? They all got their 100 PV. We now have 600. We're at Pro. How many did I get? 2. Yep, got 2. But I helped them get 2. So Marissa. Okay, up 2. Trisha. Renee. Who am I up to now? You're 4.
We're gonna separate them.
Okay, you gotta separate the legs. Okay, Trisha, separate. You guys move over here. You move over behind us. We'll just do that.
Just fully
For visual. Okay, now we have that. So now we have 500 here and 600 there. So we're at 1,100. But guess what? I bet between all of them, they went and told some friends. And they have a few customers. They didn't recruit anybody, but they went and got some customers. So at a total of 1,500, this continues to duplicate. But how many did I recruit?
2.
2. That's where the magic starts to happen, is you just need to find 2, but then you need to help 2. So it's helping that next person. So the minute they come in, Amy connects me to Jody and says, hey, I want you to meet Jody. So we hear Jody's goals, we help Jody do a Fab 5. Then Clena gets on. Then those 2 went and told 2 more. And the next person tells 2 more. And that duplication just continues to happen, and that ripple effect. That is what has happened with Melissa. But guess what? Melissa didn't tell just 2. Just like Nikki didn't tell 2. I didn't tell just 2. Because what starts to happen is the cool thing. And I watched this. So, Melissa then went, and let's just say, we'll put Megan up here for a minute. So, Melissa gets to recruit Megan, but the cool thing is when you have your 2, you get to place them. So now I'm just gonna have you come over here and get behind Kate, because guess what? Melissa recruited her, but Melissa gets to bless over here with Megan. But guess what? Not only did she bless Kate, she also blessed Marissa, she blessed Amy, and she blessed Nikki. Because we have this cool thing called the placement suite, where we get to help people build their business. And when I saw that, that got me excited, because I knew I wasn't going to tell just 2 people. And I knew that I could help bless people's businesses and help them grow. Because the other company I've been in, I recruited those 150 people, but guess who it helped? Me. I didn't get to help my team one bit. And it is no fun being at the top, when entering the car, taking the trips, when you don't have these people with you. These people are my why. And when I saw I could bless their businesses by bringing in the next person, and then the next person, and the next person, forever, and whoever's down here, it doesn't just help one person, but then I get a place at the bottom with Renee, and then it helps Renee's business, to Jody's business, to Amy's business, on up. That's where the magic starts to happen, because you can help everybody. And so when people are like, how is this happening? It's like, because we get to help people. So the more people we are talking to, the more people we can bless their businesses by placing that volume. So that's where it might be you have your 2 people, but then they go tell 2 people, and then we recruit another one, and then they get it placed underneath that. And so that's where you start to see this crazy duplication. The other thing with the placement is you can use that as leverage. That's how Kalina got me in this business. Because I was like, maybe I'll wait till March. And she said, I have some individuals in my placement suite. And I was like, what's that? She said, I gotta bless your business. I was like, what? And so now, under my business, because of Kalina, we have a team from Sweden, Florida, Australia. You guys don't even know the people. But Kalina got to help me grow my business. And that's what we get to do in this, is again, it's not just about me. So who else can I help? So when we say, like, let's get on these calls, who can we talk to? It's because we want to help you, who helps the next person, and the next person, and the next person. And if you have that true millionaire mindset, I don't know about you all, but just like Nikki said, what job can you work that your paycheck's going to grow? It's not. And especially when I worked at the hospital, I had to go back and get, number one, my bachelor's, then my master's, because there were jobs I knew I could do. But because I didn't have that degree they said I had it on the paper, I can't even apply for it. No matter what people's backgrounds are, no matter what their qualifications, their age, men, women, kids, they can all do this business. But it takes us to tell people that, to change the stigma when people are like, it's a pyramid scheme. I'm like, what is your definition of a pyramid scheme? Because I know working in the hospital, that's a pyramid scheme. That's my CEO, my CFO, those C-suites. When we're down here busting our butt, and I was in a director position, and I had girls who worked their ever-living butts off for me, especially when I was in that hospital for 3.5 years, 3.5 months, felt like 3.5 years, so you can sit down. I couldn't make their paychecks grow. I couldn't even give them a raise. And in some of their pay scales they were in, they're maxed out. So they could stay there 20 years, and that job position is never going to be the same, or never going to be above that. You're stuck. You might get a penny. Ooh, wow. It's not going to happen. This can be the work you put into it to show up, not for us, show up for yourselves. That when we send those messages, or we're like, you have to reach out to us because sometimes we get crazy and we don't see the message either, is what can we do or who can we help? But like Kalina said, it could be $500 that keeps somebody from going bankrupt. So I know for myself, I've sat in many different retreats and trainings, and as a silver leader making $4,000 a month, I don't think I'm successful. I feel like I gotta be this sometimes to even tell people about the comp plan. But if I can keep one family to pay for their groceries, a car payment, diapers. When I had some this summer, they were like, if I could just make $50 a month. A lot of people would like to do that. And so a lot of people use the objection, I'm not there yet. Well, guess what? We all start at zero. You have to start somewhere. But guess what? I used her story. Guess what? She told me her paycheck was $20,000 a month in January. Hell yeah, sign me up. Because I wasn't gonna make no $20,000 a month sitting at home. And I sure didn't want to go back to work again.
And that has given our family it's unexplainable to be there for those kids. And now I substitute teach, and I do love it because I can see all these kids. But that's why I also do it, is because I know that maybe that next person in the school, the next kid, whoever, I might be able to help impact somehow. You saw the little boy sitting in the back today. I didn't know his mom, but somebody connected us. We talked product, but we've more been there for each other to help through that. And now she had a whole list of people that she knew needed these products. She said, I don't know if I can do business. I said, you can, because see that list of names? You already wrote down 7 names and what products they needed. That's what we do. We are business owners, yes, but we are here to serve others. And when you continue to not only rank up and you earn that Christmas cash of $1,000 and you get to elite and above, after you maintain those ranks, they pay you a really nice bonus. Last year, I hit September in silver. October and November, I maintained. I got an extra $2,000 in December and an extra $2,000 in January. That paid for Christmas. We got to adopt a lot of families to help them with their Christmas. It was incredible. And had I not just been open-minded and shared and reached out, and again, how do you get to those tops? By getting more no's. Lots of no's. Like, I've even had people block me. It's okay. So, you're crazy. Yes, I know I am. But it might just change everything. So being elite and higher, you can earn those bonuses that will just continue. And I call them like stack cash, because not only had I hit bronze and silver, so I not only got the $2,000, I got an extra $3,250 in December and in January, because these bonuses stack and they accumulate, which is crazy. But my favorite that I'm going to end it on is FFM, the Financial Freedom Movement. Every single one of you, if you have not sent your email, which I know a lot of you still need to do your enrollment, the first thing you need to do is send this email to ffm@qsciences.com. Because what Sarah and the Financial Freedom team has done for our family, like Kalina said, is much more than the income. I can't say the products because it's changed Clay's life, but when they literally have helped us. She even called me out of the blue the other day and was like, hey, I think I can even save you even more money on your life insurance. I'm like, do it. What do you need? And they do that. But when my dad died and I was dealing with all of that stuff, she literally got on the phone to every single company, not only for myself, but for my siblings, and helped all of us deal with that when we couldn't even focus on what was even happening. And so you can take advantage of that free financial coaching. It starts right away, but it can be, like you may think you have it all together and you are a budget person like Cody, but like the first thing we thought is, oh, we want those bonuses going towards our house payment. And she's like, no, you don't. I was like, no, I don't want to pay that off first. She's like, no, you need to put that into a retirement plan. And so that has continued to go through our retirement plan. And so the best thing, I mean, again, I have to put that up there because to show for your success is a secure financial environment for yourself and your family, not a car. We've been in those companies that, here's a free car, it's not free. You have to sign a lease, you have to pay the insurance, you have to pay all the taxes, all those things, it's not free. And if you don't maintain your rank, you don't get that payment anyway. But to have then the money that I wrote a check for my Yukon out there, that was a dream of mine, because my dad, and he didn't even have a credit card until I was a sophomore in high school and had to buy me track shoes. He paid cash for everything. And if he couldn't pay cash, we didn't get it. And I was like, oh, so when he would write a check for my car, I was like, oh, I'm never gonna do that. Like, when my husband started his business 20 years ago, he didn't have cash in his wallet to get milk. I'd call him and say, hey, stop at the grocery store. He's like, I can't. I don't have money. We have money to buy milk. And Alec will even say at 18, Mom, why is Kale and Clay's savings bigger than mine? Because we didn't have a penny to even put in savings. back then. But this has allowed us to build a savings plan for them. But not only that, it's teaching our kids. Alec came up with a Ziploc bag full of cash last year at the end of the year. Mom, can you invest this for me? He had heard me talking about this so much on my calls. Like, where did you get all this? He had been saving all of his money from his fireworks and from his, anything he works for Brad or birthdays or whatever, and he invested it. And so it's teaching that over and over again. My kids have more in their savings than I can even imagine having back when I was their ages. And so those monthly bonuses to go towards your debt or retirement of choice is huge, huge, absolutely huge. So you get complete guidance, the free financial coaching, but my favorite thing to wrap it up is everybody, the support that you have here. It's the community. We had so much fun last night. For those at the Christmas party, laughed so hard. And like Marissa said, her mom, who's known her longer than anyone, said that she had seen the growth in her. I've seen a growth in her in 2 months. She was a complete stranger. And from our first Zoom call to today, she is not the same person. And I still don't know her that well. But I can see the growth in her confidence. And even Melissa to say over and over again, I'm just gonna make this post and send everybody to Nikki. And I was like, yeah, you're crazy. Because she was like, I don't wanna do this. I don't have time. I got 3 kids, I got a job. I'm like, I get it. But you know somebody that does, who knows somebody that does, that you can help. And that's what I just want you all to remember, that while this is the most incredible thing ever, and it's going to provide and provide and provide, that you can leave a legacy. If something happened to me today, I can will my business to my family. My husband, I am not working his meat packing plant. I'll tell you that right now. But I can leave this for my family, and it can continue to grow. There's gonna be some work in it. But if they just bought just the products they needed for Clay, my paycheck would stay the same. It might go down, but guess what? I know I've built a community, and that when you have things happen, we will continue to take care of you. When Marissa had a migraine and went to bed on the vent, we continued to take care of her. We made sure she ranked up.
Thank you, by the way.
We are gonna continue to take care of. When Kalina was going through an international move, my goal was to bust my Heidi off to help them for what they were going through. Losing a grandmother, having to do an international move, wasn't about me. Had it not been for her sharing this, we wouldn't be here today. And I'm so grateful for that. And so just remember who could be the next person that you can help, and that these are numbers, but always don't see people as numbers. Because I've been in companies where they value you as a number. And there's one thing about the culture here, is that will never happen. Is that you are valued as a person. Your story matters more in your health than even the financial piece. So, thank you for letting me share. I'm just super